What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So Lucid just announced their Q1 delivery and production numbers. I want to go over that with you and potentially what that might mean as a further domino effect. And again, I think just some expectations of Lucid. But before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So Lucid was minding its own business, was doing fairly well today, so it closed to 1.48% in the green, and that was largely because of some pretty positive PPI data that did come out. So the broader market was in very much rally mode, but unfortunately after hours, Lucid submits their actual Q1 numbers and it goes down 3.27%. So I want to break down some of those numbers and my thoughts on them. So as you do see right here, so in Q1 they did produce 2,314 vehicles, delivered 1,406. So even though it is going down a little bit after hours, and I'm sure a lot of people are having their pitchforks out and willing to stab Lucid, I actually for once disagree. And my reasoning is, based on the Q4 earnings, they did already say that Q1 was going to be significantly lower. And so my own thoughts on this, at least, and me not being a financial advisor, I was estimating it to be significantly lower than this. So around the 1,600 in my own opinion, of course. But the fact that it did come in at 2,300 is fairly positive. So if you factor in their end goal of roughly around 14,000 for the end of the year, so anywhere from 10 to 14,000 if I remember correctly. So even if you do that divided by 4, it's kind of in line with the overall target. But now if you add on the fact that Sherry already did say that Q1 was going to be significantly lower, then that definitely is a very positive sign. And they did say, similar to what happened in 2022, that the Q4 is going to be their majority kind of ramping up. So again, factoring in anything and everything as of right now, it does go to show that most likely they are going to exceed their 2023 targets. But most likely what is prompting this to go down after hours and a little bit more fear is once again this deviation. So around 900 undelivered vehicles. And so people want to know, is that a lag? Is that a demand problem? Is that just waiting delivery for international? Because they did say in Q2, this is where a lot of the international deliveries are going to be starting. So either to Saudi Arabia, Europe, or wherever else is going to be starting soon. So is that 900 for that? So in general, I think that's basically the only reason why it is going down after hours. Because like I said, this 2,300 isn't that bad. And of course, like I said on this channel, I like to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if this was ugly, I'd be calling it out. But in reality, I don't think so. So no matter what, let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. And like I said, make sure you guys do your own due diligence. They also did announce their actual conference call as well for May the 8th at 2:30 as well. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe because I'm going to be live streaming that. And they also do talk on the actual shareholder meeting that is in around 2 weeks, give or take. And that is on April the 24th. I've already touched on this already. Nothing really risque or anything crazy from this shareholder meeting that is going to be discussed. So again, it is what it is. But like I said, over and above that, I find it interesting the fact that they haven't already posted this on Twitter. And normally they are very, very fast to kind of post stuff on Instagram and Twitter and so forth. But the fact that they haven't maybe shows behind the scenes they aren't fully satisfied with these numbers. Again, I could be wrong. And keep in mind when they do actually submit their actual earnings, the numbers itself, so the earnings per share, for instance, the revenue, that might be a little bit more of a shocking aspect because the fact that they laid off so many individuals, so 18% of their workforce at the end of Q1, I anticipate most likely Peter saw the numbers and said, what the hell is going on? Why do we have so much expenses, but yet we haven't really produced nearly enough to justify all of these employees? So I do anticipate the earnings per share to be a little bit lower, unfortunately, than the estimate. And again, when it comes down to it, I like to always give you viewpoints and my expectation. And I have very high expectations of Lucid because I know that they do have an amazing product and they will do a lot of good things. Just management has been making a lot of very simple mistakes. And in comparison, a lot of people always look at Lucid and Rivian as very comparable companies. And of course, Rivian recently came out with this, saying that based on their production targets and so forth, they're actually estimating to be profitable in 2024. That is next year. Based on Lucid and the estimates from analysts, it most likely won't even be until around 2026, potentially 2027. So Lucid definitely is not ramping up nearly as much. But like I said, if this is them being kind of lowballing it, so this 2300, definitely they are going to far exceed that 14,000 by the end of the year. My estimate as of right now, and given the circumstances, I would say it would be around the 17 to probably 19,000. Might be a little bit more optimistic than a lot of you in that regard, but keep in mind they did say Q1 was going to be significantly lower. So if you just do the basic math, it kind of adds up. When it comes down to it, I'll give you guys a quick summary of everything else that you need to know, such as what shorts did today. So short score is currently 85, utilization is still at 100%. Shorts did return 951,000 shares, so 22.4% of the free float's being shorted, 143.6 million shares overall being shorted as well. And based on this is all the options activity. You do see, behind the scenes at least, a little bit more of a negative sentiment. And like I said on yesterday's video, or whenever it was, based on the technicals and everything else, it does show that most likely Lucid will be trending down a little bit, which does pain me to say a little bit. But in general, there was $1.62 million worth of puts being done today versus $485,000. So very much heavily weighted towards the puts, which, like I said, does potentially insinuate that it is going to be trending down. And no different than any other day, like I've said, a lot of transactions, but very much selling. So you do see 3 million or 3 transactions that is over $1 million. So 1.03, 6.12, and 1.66, all very much sells. And you can tell that based on the bid, the ask at the time, and the selling transaction. So again, a lot of big money behind the scenes is selling, and most likely retail sales numbers are coming out tomorrow, so there will be one hell of a volatile kind of interpretation of this. Still currently at 3.27% right now, but like I said, I think the only reason why it is going down is because of this 900 vehicle leg is just kind of questioning and rubbing people the wrong way. But again, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. I think even if it does pull down a little bit, that's still very much healthy for the broader technicals as well, because stochastic is currently at 70. No defined trend right now, but it is considered very much overbought. So like I mentioned in yesterday's video, it pulling back to potentially around, I think it was that 736 range, still might be very healthy for Lucid bigger picture. So again, nothing to really worry about. And like I've mentioned many times on many videos in the past, when you are investing in Lucid, you are investing for the long term, 2025, 2026, and so forth. And that is where you will be making some significant money. Short term, it's going to be very volatile. If you look and compare it to Tesla early on and the early stages of Tesla, that is a whole different level of volatility. Some people complain about what is happening to Lucid, but they have not lived through that investing time period with early on Tesla. That is just massive, massive fluctuations. So you should be very thankful that Lucid is only going up and down maybe 5% every second day or whatever it is. But like I said, I personally do not think that this is that big of a deal in reality. So let me know your thoughts on this. Are you worried about this 2300 potentially, or are you worried about maybe this leg? What are you concerned about? Other than that, there is no other SEC filings or anything else other than that Dream Ahead tour, but I'm going to be touching on that in a separate video as well. But of course, that's a pretty positive thing. If you are looking for a lot of good compiled information such as news, SEC filings, and so forth, click on the link in the description below or also the comments and take advantage of a free 7-day trial with Seeking Alpha Premium. So definitely take advantage while you can. But with that, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, there is a good promo with Moomoo, link in the description below and also the comments. Just sign up for a free account, you get 1 free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So even if you just do that, kind of a no-brainer, And this brokerage does have a $0 commission and free level 2 trading as well. So kind of like I said, a no-brainer. If you want to throw $100 at the account, you do get additional 4 free stocks. Once again, each valued up to $2,000. Without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.